Welcome, crafty friends. Happy, Friday afternoon, and welcome to Raincross Farms Makery. This is our little craft studio. My name is Robin. Behind the camera, behind the computer is my husband Bill. You might hear his voice throughout the little session.
Maybe.
And we are so excited to be hosting this segment of Craft with Plastics, Create with Plastics on Craft Round the Clock. So welcome, come on in, say hi when you get here, say something in the comments. Let me get my bot up and going, and then we will get started because we only have 30 minutes. And I have been known to go overtime, and I don't want to do that. Okay, so I'm going to attach it to this one. No, that one's not it. Did we go live?
I hit the
Are we live?
But I'm not seeing
Are
us
we
anywhere.
live? Specific post. I don't know. Maybe we are only live in Craft Round the Clock. Promotable posts? No.
Let me see if I can locate that.
No. Well, we're just going to get going anyway. Cross that off. Let's turn this off. And I have a super fun project I've been wanting to do for years. I've been saving for this project, and I haven't been able to do it yet, but we're going to do it today. So if you're watching us, we would love it if you would spread the love, if you would give us a heart, follow our page, Raincross Farms Makery, sprinkle it out to your crafty friends. Now this is Raincross Farms Makery. So we are actually a small farm. So this is what my plastic material is a feed bag. This is what we get when we feed our chickens. Sometimes you might, maybe you have chickens, maybe you have animals that you get food in this size. Maybe you have dog food in this size. This is a 50-pound bag. You can also do it with a 40-pound bag. This is actually a plastic bag. Is it not sharing into
there's people watching.
I know, but they might be watching from Craft Round the Clock.
I'm on Craft Round the Clock and I'm not seeing it there.
Oh, well.
Oh, that's TV. Oops,
Yeah,
I hit the wrong
one. Anyway, this is actually a plastic bag. You could do this with those paper. I know a lot of the dog food comes in the paper bag. You could do it with paper, but again, it would be paper. It would be a little less sturdy. But this is a plastic bag. Again, this is a 50-pound sack, and I'm going to make a tote bag out of it. I love this little design. I love the little rooster and the hen. So I'm going to make a tote bag out of this, or a market bag, something that you can take to the grocery store. Hey, Tracy. People can't share you out. You want to be live in your business page instead of in the group. Okay. So I guess you know what? I'm just gonna go with it because I'm on Craft Round the Clock, and my page won't get credit for it, but that's okay. We're already going. I'm already 5 minutes in. So anyway, yay! Okay, so you take the bag, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna find a 22-inch section of it that you want to highlight. 22 inches, and then you cut it off. So I cut a little bit off the top, I cut a little bit off the bottom, and I have 22 inches. I left everything else intact. And the first thing I'm going to do is clean this. I already did, so make sure you wash it out. Make sure you'll wash it out and dry it up really good. And you're going to turn it inside out. And it's going to require some sewing, but it's very, very simple sewing. It's just straight lines, no zigzags, nothing fancy, no turning corners. So I'm going to fold this right in half. Now this is the bottom. This is the top of my bag. So this is the bottom. So I'm going to put these two sides together, right like that. And I'm going to sew about a 1/2 inch seam all the way across. So let me move this over so you can see a little bit. So I've got my thread. I just use kind of a heavy duty needle. I use a really wide stitch because if my stitches are too close together, I risk perforating the bag too much and making it so that it rips out. So let me just run this real quick. How many of you are sewers? How many of you are sewers? Hey, Patty. Hey, Cheryl. Hello. How is everybody? We've shared it in, well, we shared it in the correct place, but we didn't share it in both correct places.
Oh, okay.
Apparently.
Apparently.
But we have the one for Craft Around the Clock, which is the event we're doing, so that's the important one. And we will, actually what we'll do is we will download it and then upload it again to Raincross Farms Makery. So it won't be alive, but it will be,
Rose
you'll
says
still
she's
be able to see it.
hand-quilting while watching.
Awesome!
Poke yourself.
You could do it by hand, it'd be a little bit harder. Anyway, so I just did a 1/2 inch seam all the way along here. Now I'm going to, this is kind of tricky, I'm going to pull out this corner. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm getting it to the corner. And I'm going to mark this off. Hopefully you can see this. I have a ruler and I'm going to get, where's my Sharpie? I got a Sharpie. So I'm going to measure 4 inches. Can you see? Hopefully you can see this. I'm going to measure from the point 4 inches and mark it right there. And then another 4 inches from this point and mark it right there so you can see 4 inches to here, 4 inches to here. Then I'm going to lay this ruler across and draw that line and then sew right on that line that I just made. And that's going to make the little, the corners of the bottom. So I'm not going to move this. I think you can see enough. You can see that I'm sewing. Again, I'm not using a fancy stitch. I'm just using a straight stitch, kind of wide. And I'm using a slightly heavy-duty needle. And I always like to trim my threads as I go. So I've got this little triangle that I sewed straight across here. Now I'm going to cut that off about a 1/2 inch away. And that's my first corner. Yay! So I'm going to do it again on this side. So I find the corner and I spread it apart like that. And make sure it lines up. It's not crooked. And then I'm going to go, I lined it. I'm lined it. Okay, so I'm going to go 4 inches from the point down the side. 4 inches. Can you see what I'm doing? 4 inches down the side. So I measured to the point to the side, marked it at 4 inches from the point down the side to 4 inches. I'm just going to take this ruler and connect those two little dots, and that's my seam line. Okay. Now you notice I'm not pinning or anything. I'm not finding it necessary, but if it's easier for you to manipulate, if you've pinned your pieces together, you do that. Okay, and we're going to just sew straight across there. trim our threads. Now y'all need to be praying for me. I haven't been seeing who's here. Hey, Splash of Paint by Deborah. Okay, so I've got my little triangle gusset sewn, and I'm going to trim that about 1/2 inch away from the seam. And then I've got my corners. Yes, it mostly waterproof, because water could get in the seams, but basically the bag is waterproof, and it's really sturdy. I mean, it's not going to last forever and ever. So when I turn it inside out, it's going to stand up like that. But I'm not ready to turn it inside out yet. Okay, now remember, I cut 22 inches of my feed bag, and so I had some at the top and some at the bottom. I'm going to grab those pieces, and I am going to cut them in 3-inch wide strips. I'm looking for a strip about 22 inches wide. Does that make sense? You need 2 of them, because these are going to be the handles. You could always use ribbon, you could always use webbing, you could always use rope if you wanted to, but I'm going to use the actual parts of the bag. So it's 3 inches wide, at least 22 inches long. If you want longer handles, make them longer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this about, I'm going to fold it in thirds. So I'm basically making a strap that's about 1 inch wide. So I fold it over 1/3 of the way, and then I fold that over again. So I have it folded in thirds, kind of like a burrito. And this comes in handy to kind of pin. And I'm going to fold that all the way down. Fold it all the way down. Now this is just my sample because I knew I would run out of time, so I actually have some finished ones. Hello, Totally Together Creating with Brenda.
I've never met that's Brenda.
I'm hoping it's Brenda. Hello, sweet Brenda. So same thing.
And Peggy said it's a great idea.
I think so. It's
Sassafras Creation said cool.
Yeah, it's a bit of work. It's not a lot of work. It's a bit of work, and I know you can buy them for like 99 cents. But are they as cute as this? No, they are not. You have to get the cute ones. So now you're all going to be going out buying chicken feed.
Just give us
just for the cute bags. So you are welcome to buy it. Send us the chicken feed. Put it in a box. Send us the chicken feed, and then make yourself a tote bag out of the feed sack. Sound good?
Did you bring the birdseed bag down?
Yeah, but I'm not showing it yet. Okay, so anyway, I've got this folded in thirds, and then I'm just going to go. I have already done it, actually. I'm going to take my sewing machine and I'm going to sew it straight down that side. And I'm actually going to sew it straight down both sides, just like an 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch seam. And that is going to be my strap. And that is going to be super duper sturdy, because these are like interwoven with nylon threads. So 3 inches wide, 22 inches long, and here are my finished straps. You can kind of see I was able to save a barcode, and I kind of have the word country there. So now I need those first before I start finishing the top of this bag. I've got 15 minutes, I can do it. So the top of my bag isn't finished. I'm going to fold it over about 1 inch twice, because I want that seam to be pretty sturdy. So I'm going to fold this over about twice at about 1 inch, and I'm going to pin that. And I'm going to do this other side. Again, you can measure it, you can eyeball it. It's not that crucial. You just want it to be consistent all the way around. So I folded it over twice at about 1 inch. Now I'm going to go all the rest of the way around and just pin it, because you know what we're going to do. We're going to hem this. Okay, and I am so sorry. I'm flustered by not getting this put on our page, so I'm not saying hello. Hi, Kathy Fuller. Hello, Fox and Smocks. Hello, everybody. Say hello. And I know I'm not live on my own page right now because I blew it. But we would love it if you would follow us at Raincross Farms Makery on Facebook. Just type in that and find us. We'd love to have new followers. We're shooting for 10,000. Did you?
I put the link
Awesome.
in.
Okay, so Bill put the link in the comments if you want to follow our page. So you see what I'm doing? I'm just folding it over an inch and then folding it again another inch. And
Kathy says they get a 50-pound bird seed. And
okay, there's
Kathy says I'm going to do it with my bird seed bag and maybe dog food bag.
Yep. Now, the dog food we buy comes in a paper bag. It's like lots and lots of layers of paper. And I'm sure you could make a tote bag out of the paper sack. Again, it might not be as sturdy, but it would certainly look cute for a while, wouldn't it? If you don't mind sewing on paper, it might dull your needle. Okay, so I've got this seam pinned all the way around. Now I'm going to insert my straps where I want them. So I'm going to fold this in half, and I'm going to measure 6 inches from the edge and just put a line. Again, hopefully you can see this. Just from the edge here, 6 inches, put a line, and that's where the insides of my straps are going to be. I'm going to do it on the front and the back. So I'm at about 6 inches. This isn't crucial except that you want them to be the same. So if you want them closer together, you can put them closer together. If you want them further apart, you can do that too. So I completely folded the bag in half and measured 6 inches and drew a line. 6 inches, drew a line, did that front and back. Now I'm going to take my strap and I'm going to put it right here, line it up on that line. Okay, actually I'm gonna center it right there. So you can see there's my line, there's my strap. The straps are hanging down into the bag at this point. That's what we want. And I'm going to pin this in. We're going to actually sew it in the seam, and then I'm going to take this one and curve it around and put it right here underneath this one. So this is what it should look like. Ow, don't pin yourself. Don't pin yourself. So this is what it'll look like. Here's my strap hanging down. When I turn it inside out, we will tack it so that it's upright. And you do the same thing on the back. So right at that line, and I'm going to pin that in, and then I'm going to turn this. Make sure it's not twisted. You just want to make sure it's lined up right there. Get another pin. Now this I would recommend pinning or clipping. You could put a clip on it too. In fact, do I have a clip handy? I could use one of these clips. I could use one of these clips for just quick. So I think I'm just going to do that right now. So that's another option. Then I'm going to sew right along this inside edge. I'm going to feed this in here. Get on this side of it. And just an 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch seam, just straight around. Again, straight stitching. No, you don't need to do zigzag. We're not turning any corners. We are just sewing straight. And again, I have kind of a wide stitch, because I think if I have the stitches too close together, It'll make it easier for the bag to rip because it will like technically perforate it. We don't want it perforated. So I'm going to go all the way around. I'm going to go over all of those straps. Stuff under there. So sorry for this rattling. Okay, and take out your pin. Don't run over your pins. It'll dull your needles. I have become my mother. She used to say, don't run over the pins. But it's so much faster if I just fly over them. Mother knows best, right? Okay, who else is here? Chris Castelli, Sparky is here, Julie is here. Yay, glad to have you.
Amy said she just followed us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. If you weren't here on the very beginning, I accidentally didn't share it into my own group, my own page. I only shared it onto Craft Around the Clock TV, which is the important one because I'm doing this segment for them. Not Craft Around the Clock TV, just Craft Around the Clock. And yes, this is a chicken feed bag. It's a plastic, because that was our assignment. It's a plastic coated bag. Probably, I don't know if it's plastic, might be nylon, I don't know. But it's reinforced with those little fibers that go through the plastic. You could do this with the paper food bags, like dog food bags. But again, it wouldn't be quite the same because it would be paper. It would be it'd be as sturdy as a dog food bag, and you know sometimes those rip open. And dog food bags are generally coated so that they're
plastic in them.
Plastic, yeah. But I mean, it would probably be waterproof to an extent, but if you put your dog food bag out in the yard and it rained, it's eventually going to soak in. So that's why I'm using the plastic one. So this is it before I turn it inside out. So I ran that seam around. I've got my handles facing down on the inside, and actually, well, let's do the reveal. So I'm going to grab these corners. Sorry for the noise. Hey Debbie, you're not replay, you're still live. I'm glad you're here. But if you just tuned in, you might want to watch the replay so you can see how we did this. So I'm just turning it inside out, and I'm apologizing for the noise. I am making a custom market bag or tote bag out of a animal feed sack, a plastic animal feed sack. So let me push these out. There we go. Now I'm still not done with the handles, but isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? And it even says scratch feed. It still has, I mean, it's obviously a feed sack. Now, I put the handles, remember they're down in here. I'm going to pull these up and just tack them along that top seam so that now they are upright. I lost my foot pedal. Woo! Okay, I'm losing my foot pedal.
Don't do that.
Okay, so I'm just tacking them up there. Trim my threads. So simple sewing. If you have a sewing machine and you can sew a straight line, that's all it takes. That's all straight line sewing. No fancy settings, no zigzags. Although you could do zigzag if you wanted to, but I don't know that it would be any sturdier. Let me do the same thing on this side. And then we are just about done. So what do you think? How many of you think you are going to make yourself a feed sack tote bag? I don't know about you, but there's lots of places that are already do require, they don't, when you go grocery shopping, they don't give you the little, you have to purchase your own bags or you have to bring your own. Wouldn't these be cute to do your grocery shopping in? Even if you don't, they'd make a great beach bag or just grabbing your stuff to take wherever you're going. Pretty sturdy. Now, I'm not going to guarantee they'll last forever. And I will tell you, if they sit out in the sun, they kind of deteriorate. So don't keep them in the sun for long periods of time. So here it is. Here is my finished bag. So this was a chicken feed, scratch feed for our chickens. And nice big tote bag. I made one, a practice one, out of, what did I do with it? Out of a bird seed bag. So this is, I don't know, Niger seed. So this was actually a 40-pound bag, so it's a little bit smaller, but I did it the exact same way. I centered the picture I wanted on 22 inches. It doesn't have to be 22 inches. If you want a bigger bag, make it bigger. If you want it smaller, if you only have like a 30 or a 25-pound bag of feed, then you make yourself a little tote bag. But here is my sample one, and here is the one I did today. What do you think? Okay, I just realized, I'm sorry you're sick with COVID. I hope you have a mild case and you get over it fast. But yes, sewing I think is a lost art, which I hate to see, but it is a tried and true craft form. I enjoy sewing. I don't do it as much as I used to. I used to make clothes and all that stuff, and now I just kind of do crafty stuff with it. But give it a try. If you do, come to my VIP page. I don't know if that's showing up. Did you pin a comment at the very?
All I did was pin. No, there wasn't anything to pin. But I've got our Facebook.
Okay, so find our Facebook page and then ask me about VIP group, and I'll get you in our VIP group. If you make one of these, I want you to send me a picture of it and post it in our group.
I just posted a link to the VIP.
Awesome. Okay, so I think I'm done. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, watching me make my cute little tote bag. Can't wait to go to the. Oh, we're going to the grocery store. I'm going to bring it and use it. Thanks again. Have a great weekend and enjoy your next crafting with plastic. Bye-bye, everybody.